Hey, welcome back. It's been a crazy June. Yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so in the last video, I said I was going to go over west of here to Porrock and visit my friend Daryl, and I did. We hung out all day, but I had been noticing before that every time I'd start to accelerate with my car, I'd hear a squeak, 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 squeak. And I wasn't quite sure what the deal was, but it was only under acceleration. It was pretty faint, but throughout the day, it started getting louder and louder. And I went over to his house and checked things out. He's basically rebuilding a house. He got a heck of a deal on it. I don't hold me to the numbers. I think it was like $35 a month, but the house was in bad shape. A year ago, when we went out there, if you go back a year and you look, when Mike and Janet were up here from Dumageddon, I think I did a quick brush by on his house, but it wasn't my video. It was Mike's video. So, but Daryl's got plenty of videos. He's been fixing it up, and he's turning what was the garage into an Airbnb, a guest house, a guest room, whatever. He's getting it all fixed up. So he wanted to show me all that. Great job, Daryl. It keeps him occupied, and he's doing a great job. So we went into Angeles and we had lunch at Poppy's Bar and Chill. If you go back a year ago, last August, you'll see I did an interview with Eric from Poppy's, the Big Poppy, the Big Far East Poppy, and he's got a YouTube channel. So the Far East Poppy, great food, great staff, great owners. But I eat there when I can. Unfortunately, it's a good half-hour drive for me, and there's usually traffic, and parking can be sometimes a little tricky, but the food makes up for it. But we went there, we had lunch, and here's Daryl at lunch. Anyway, after that, we went to Wilcon. He wanted to look at some tiles for his addition that he's putting on. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a nice addition. I'm going to go out there probably next month and do a video with him. I wanted to do it on the 3rd, but we were kind of pressed on time and was trying to get in between rainstorms and stuff. But as I was driving, I keep hearing that squeak, 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 squeak every time I'd start to accelerate. And I asked Daryl, I said, "Can you hear that?" He says, "Yep, I can hear it." He says, "It doesn't sound right." And I said, "No, it doesn't sound right." Well, throughout the day, it was getting louder and louder. And we got out onto the out on the expressway, the SC Tex, to take him home. And when I'd accelerate, and not only was it squeaking, but it's grinding. And as soon as I get up about 80 kilometers an hour, the whole car would just start shaking. And I thought, "Whoa, there's something bad wrong." So I just kind of slowed down a little bit. I might want to take it easy on this. And I dropped him off, and we said our goodbyes, and it was late, and it was after dark and things. We just don't get enough time to spend together. That's one of the problems with being an expat is, you hang out with some other expats and you just don't have enough time. But I'll try and see him again this week. I told him I would get my drone going. It's never flown since I've been here in the Philippines. I flew it all the time in the U.S., but since I came here, I haven't flown it. So I want to get the thing going. He's going to be taking a trip to Mindanao, and I told him, "You want to use my drone? You're welcome to it. Just don't drop it in the ocean." So I got to take that out to him. But let me tell you what happened. I'll show you a little video clip as I was going to the shop on the 4th. And it's popping when it goes under acceleration. That popping noise has been here for a while. It's just getting worse. It's in conjunction with with all the squealing and the shaking. Now, I don't know if you could hear that or not, but I could hear it. You got all the other ambient noises, and I didn't have a microphone right by the squeaking noise, but I took it back to Mech Central. They're the ones that worked on the steering components last month for a tune of $23K. Yeah, it's what, $500 or something like that. It cuts into your budget when you're budgeting a certain amount and you spend $23K, you got to make some adjustments. So maybe I ought to do a budget video on what happens when the unexpected happens. Okay. Yeah. I got in there. They says, yes, sir, bring it in. So I brought it in, got there. They says, we can't get this done today. They says the parts are really bad. They took the right front wheel off and ball bearings were falling out of the hub. There were 3 ball bearings left in there. I know what the grinding noise was now. The hub bearing was going bad. Okay. So I got a Grab. Now, Grab is like an Uber, and I had them come pick me up to take me home. I got almost home, and I says, oh no, my house keys are with my car keys at the shop. So you can't have him just turn around. They have to cancel the trip. So I got him close to my subdivision, had him cancel the trip. He got paid for it because you do it all with debit cards, or, or if you have Gcash or whatever, you make the payment online, they come and pick you up, and then they give you an electronic receipt. So then I had to book another Grab to take me back. Now the Grab from the repair shop to my house, about 360 pesos. It's not much. Let's see, I've written it down. It's $6.55. Not bad. It's acceptable. But then another $6.55 to get back down to Mex Central to get my keys. Now, he's not going to sit there and wait for me and then take me back home. We cancel it out when I get out of the car. Then I have to book another one. All told, it was $19.65. We're talking 360 times 3. I have a spare set of keys. Now I have them stashed. So if this ever happens again, I don't have to book 2 more extra Grabs to get home. Sometimes you just have one of those days, and it was being one of those days. So on the 5th, the shop contacts me, says, sir, we've got bad news. This is going to be expensive. I go, how expensive? So he sent me an estimate. Are you kidding me? How much? He says, oh, I made a mistake. Let me give you the revised one. I'm going, no kidding, you made a mistake. $1,000 for repairs? No, I don't think so. So they sent me the revised estimate. Even with the revised estimate, that's still in the high 600s. I didn't do the math because I wanted to see how much it was actually going to cost. This was just an estimate. So I told him, well, go ahead and get it done. This is on what, Thursday? I figure, okay, they're getting it done. So I text them Thursday afternoon. I said, do you have an idea of when my car will be finished? Because, I'm going to have to get a Grab, another $6.55 to get back down there to get the car. So I want to be prepared and, not be in the middle of something. So I put everything on hold just in case they said, okay, come and get the car. Well, they says, we're working on it. Okay, well, that's great. Well, he sends me a picture, and he's got the whole front of the car, the right front of the car all tore apart. That's what he sends me in a picture. So I assume that they're getting it done. Both CV axles, both hubs were bad, and some bushings and, other related parts that, while they're there, get them fixed. So that's why the high cost. But by the end of Thursday, I hadn't heard anything. So Friday morning, I contact him. About an hour later, he texts me. He says, "So do you want us to proceed with the repairs on your car?" You know, here in the Philippines, English is supposed to be a common spoken language. Not everybody quite gets it. You know, when I'm asking 3 times in a day, "Hey, any estimate on when my car is going to be finished?" Wouldn't that tell you, "Hey, get it done?" Now, do you want us to proceed with the repairs on your car, sir? Yes, please. So in the afternoon, I asked him, I says, "When's this going to be done?" "Oh, we're waiting on parts." So the weekend goes through, no car. Monday, my dog is out of food, so I got on the motorcycle in between rainstorms. Remember, rainy season. And I rode over to the mall. I got some dog food for the dog. But the bike was kind of acting a little funny. Now, it's had a problem with, I think, the mass airflow sensor on it. Sometimes it'll spit and sputter and die. It ran perfectly over to the mall. But I come back out, I get on the bike, get all my helmet and everything all geared up and everything secured. I turned the key on, nothing came on. What the heck? Turned it off, turned it back on. About 15 seconds later, the dash all lights up. Oh, okay. Hit the starter, fired it up. It kind of sputtered a couple of times coming home, but not bad. And I pulled it into the carport, revved it up a little bit, poof, done. Died. I thought, boy, didn't do that before, but now it's doing it. Didn't think anything of it, shut it off. Now this is Monday. And then I come back in, I text the shop. "Hey, how's it going? Is the car coming along?" "Oh, we're getting it put all back together now, sir." I thought, okay, cool. I'm going to get it. At 4:45 in the afternoon. Now keep in mind, they are 30 to 35 minutes away from here. Now, everything takes time because traffic and distance. And where I live, I'm right on the border between Angeles to the north and San Fernando to the south. Technically, I'm in San Fernando, but San Fernando is big. It's 12 kilometers just to the NLEX from here, and you got to go down through San Fernando and make a turn for about 1.5 to 2 kilometers to get on there. So it's 9 kilometers down to the shop. At 4:45, he texts me, "Your car is finished, sir, but we have bad news." Oh, bad news. Oh, grumble, grumble. Okay. Oh, it's a little bit more than what we gave you the estimate for because some of the bushings cost more. 38,800 pesos. And I wrote the number down, $705.50. That's better than 40% of my monthly budget. This is on the 10th. I got 20 days a month still to go. My budget is severely depleted for the month. Okay. So I says, I will be down Tuesday to get it. So Tuesday morning, I get a grab, go down to pick it up. I get down there. There are parts for the car in the back seat of the car. They didn't put it all back together. I says, hey, you got things to put back on the car, under trays and things like that. I mean, why would you stick it in the back seat? Why not just put it on the car? So they had to clear a lift. I had to wait until they could get the car on there. In the meantime, there's a Lamborghini Diablo SV on the rack that they were just lowering down. The owner comes out and I'm admiring the car. Who wouldn't admire a Lamborghini when you see it up close? The guy says, "Well, I got to take it for a test drive. You want to ride?" "Oh, well, I don't know. You twist my arm a little bit." "Yeah, okay." So we ran up and down the road a couple of times. Hey, car ran great as far as I could tell. That V10 made a weird noise, but hey, it's a Lamborghini. It sounded good. I can't understand why somebody would have a Lamborghini in the Philippines. I mean, I can't reach full potential in my Honda, but that's another story. So by the time we get back, they got all the under trays and everything put on the car. I drive it home. Finally, but later that afternoon, I decided, well, let's take it for some drives. Let's see how it's going to work. I want to make sure. In fact, the shop told me, run it. Let us know if you have any more vibrations, any more noises, anything. This thing drove like brand new. Now, ever since I've had this car, I've had a vibration on the expressway. I thought it was a tire out of balance. It just kind of shake like this, and it kind of grumble a little bit. You get a grumbling noise from the front end. So apparently, since I've owned this car, the CV axles have been bad, or the wheel hub bearings have been bad. But when the wheel hub bearings went bad, it chewed up the CV axles, the constant velocity axles. That's your drive axles. It chewed those up. They're gone. I had to replace everything. So in the past 2 months, I've replaced all the steering components. I replaced all the drive components. Cool. Other than I'm not going to say it. I'm just looking at the thing that goes around and makes everything work. The thing that eats the gas, and then the part that makes it go. In between the thing that eats the gas and the axles. Let's not say those two words, because that's the only thing that hasn't been replaced on this car. But needless to say, it's it was a big chunk out of my budget. So then I had more things going on. This is why I haven't made a video in a couple of weeks. On Thursday, I had a men's leadership conference to go to with my church. Now, I paid for this last month. It was the 12th, 13th, and 14th. And it was just out here at Clark, so it wasn't that far away. So the 12th, 13th, and 14th men's leadership conference with church. It was 3,000 pesos, and the church subsidized the rest. We had a room. We had all of our meals paid. It's 12 hours a day from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. every day. But it was great. I'll put in a couple of pictures in just a minute of some of the things we did. And there were close to 100 men at this conference. It was a big attendance, and I think everybody was quite surprised, the organizers, that we had that many people show up. But it was a great experience. I got to see the guys that I worship with on Sundays. I haven't seen them since March 2nd because I've been going to church here in Angeles, and it's expensive to drive to Manila. It's also time consuming. And when you figure 2 hours each way, there's 4 hours, and another 3 hours sitting in service. That's 7 hours. It's a full day just to go down there. You leave at 6:30 in the morning. You don't get home until 6:30 at night. I mean, it's just a long day. Plus, it's expensive with tolls and gas and just the wear and tear on the car. It's a lot easier just to go 10 minutes up here to the church, the local branch here. And I'm getting to be really good friends with some of the members here. So that'll probably be my church is here. Pastor is supposed to come over here. We're supposed to visit for a while, go have coffee. He and I are becoming really good friends. He needs an assistant. So, hey, what do I have to do, right? And it's something that I enjoy spending some time doing. So I'm not going to preach on my church activities, but I had that conference going. So you've seen my Filipina girlfriend, right? Penny, my dog. I had to hire a dog sitter. So I hired a dog sitter. It's the admin lady here at our HOA. Her little sister was looking for any kind of work. And I guess she used to do maid work or something like that. So I hired her to come here and watch the dog, and she was going to clean up the house a little bit. Awesome. I mean, yeah, it's going to cost me a little bit, Remember, this is the month that 40% of my budget is gone. Voila. So, but the house looks a lot better until I got home Saturday afternoon. I walked in the gate and I was greeted with quite a surprise. This is after I put cardboard and tape up. Apparently, the dog sitter was cooking fish on the stove, walked out the kitchen door, locked it as she walked out, got herself locked out. Now, she's got fish frying inside. The dog is inside. She's locked outside. She panicked. She went and contacted my neighbor. My neighbor contacted the guards. They came down, grabbed tools, tried to pry the window out, broke one window, destroyed the frame of the other one. Hey, it's only money, right? I've been waiting for 2 days for the glass guy to come over to give me an estimate. In the meantime, still got cardboard and tape up on the window. I taped in the other window. It's just sitting in there, but I got tape on it so don't fall back out because they've ruined the track and everything. And I'm telling you, when it rains, it pours. Yeah. Sunday, I decided, it's a beautiful day. It's not supposed to rain on Sunday. And in fact, it did not rain during the 3 days during the conference. It's the rainy season. And I wanted to take my motorcycle out to the conference, but I end up taking the car. Excuse me, my nose itches. I end up taking the car because, hey, it's the rainy season. You don't know. And it was dry all 3 days. So Sunday morning, I get up. I think, I'm going to ride my motorcycle to church. I get on it, put the key in. And again, it did the same thing. Turned the key, and it was like 15 seconds before the dash lit up. I hit the starter button and went click. Click? What the hell you mean click? I shut it off, turned it back on, hit the button, click. Then I get a message on my dash, low battery. How can I have a low battery? I just rode the thing a week ago Monday. So now I got to deal with that. But during the day, it's just been so hot and muggy. At nighttime, it's raining and it's muggy. And I didn't want to be out working on it in the dark. So tomorrow, I'll get into it. They say bad news travels in threes. The car breaks down. The window gets broke. The battery's dead on the bike. Hopefully, I'm not going to say it. Let's hope, okay? We'll see if I can get this fixed because I'm pretty much out of money to buy a battery. In fact, as far as batteries go, I've been trying to sell my Harley Davidson back in the States. My daughter has possession of the bike. She has the title and everything else. I signed it over to her. I told her, look, you get 10% of anything you get out of the bike, and this is how much I want for it. I'm asking $16,000. It's a $21,000 bike all day long, but I'm asking $16,000. It's been up for sale for over a year. My daughter contacts me on Wednesday. Says, Dad, I got a guy that wants to buy your bike. But, I said, what do you mean, but? But the battery's dead. The hell you mean the battery's dead? Didn't you have it on a battery tender? She says, no, it got unplugged and I didn't check all winter long. When a battery goes dead and it's freezing temperatures, it kills that battery. So I've always had the bike on a battery tender because it's all digital and everything. So the electronics are always drawing some power. So if you put it on a battery tender, you keep the battery charged all the time. And then you don't have to worry about a frozen battery. So back in April, a dog she had adopted from me got so old he had to be put down. So I owed her money for that. And then the money for a new battery. So I sent her $500 out of my U.S. savings. That U.S. savings is getting lower and lower and lower and lower. So I don't know, maybe it's 4 times that I've had bad things happen, right? So I'm going to work on the bike tomorrow and we'll see how that turns out. It's been a crazy month so far. Hey, we're only at the 18th. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Thanks for dealing with this. And I just thought I'd tell you, that's why it's sometimes 2 weeks before I can get a video out. Just craziness happened, just one thing after another, after another, after another. And I just put my life on hold to try and deal with one. And then the other one pops up and I'm still putting my life on hold, not doing anything. You know, I've had bread to bake. I've had pan de sal to make. I've had things to cook and stuff. And I haven't even done it. I haven't even had time. Maybe, I don't know. After I get the bike running, I get the drone flying, I get it out to Daryl. Then maybe I can get some things that, oh wait, Thursday, pastor's supposed to come by. And sometime this week, maybe I'm going to have the glass guy come and replace my window. Life is more fun in the Philippines. Sometimes. All right, guys. Thanks for putting up with my rambling. Love y'all. God bless. We'll see you.